name is Stephen Bost, and I have a secret to tell you. Also, a couple of stories you might find interesting. But first, the secret. I'm going to talk about the secret philosophy of yoga. I call it a mystical philosophy. It is a non-dualistic philosophy that comes from ancient India in the mountains in northern Himalayas near the area called Kashmir. This philosophy is called Kashmir Shaivism. And basically what it says, it comes from these, like I said again, from the mountains near Kashmir. It's been handed down to us, and it hasn't been talked about for a very long time. It's almost like a secret belief system. It's the secret behind yoga. It's a mystical philosophy. First of all, in this philosophy, the idea is from the one came the many. From the one came the many. Now, what it says in this philosophy, that this one, you can call it divine consciousness, universal consciousness, or here in America, we would probably call it God. This one, that in the process of becoming many, has 5 powers. And I'm going to talk about these 5 powers. The power of creation, sustaining what's been created, destroying or pulling back into itself what's been created, concealing from itself its own true identity, its own true nature, and then ultimately revealing to itself its own true nature. These are the 5 powers of God. First, creation. So again, it's the one becoming the many. In this process, this universal consciousness congeals itself and takes on the cloak of individuality. In the scriptures from India, the Upanishads, it says that individuality is an illusion. So it's who we think we are is where we get into trouble. We think we're a limited individual, but in reality, we're universal consciousness who just thinks that we're an individual. So these 5 powers, creation, so from the one comes the many, all of this creation. Secondly, sustaining, so God then sustains this creation. Destroying, eventually all will go back into the one. But what concerns us are the concealing power of God called Maya, and the creating power, then the revealing power of God, which is also called grace. These 2 concern us. So what happens is, through Maya, God then hides himself within his own creation. And then God creates ways in which he can then reveal to himself his own true nature. It's a cosmic game of hide and seek. So this game goes on, and we are all involved in this game. We are caught up in the concealed aspect of God, where we have lost sight of our own true nature, of our own true identity. It's called Maya, illusion. So, and in this Maya, there's also a process called the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas are the 3 aspects of nature. Every being that has been created has these 3 aspects: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Now, sattvic is more of the pure type way of being. Rajasic is more energetic and active, and tamasic is dull and inert. And basically, these are where the criminals come from, the tamasic. The rajasic are your soldiers. You're going to be your active people, police officers, and the sattvic is where you're more like a priest or a monk. So these are the 3 aspects of nature. Every being that's created has these three aspects. One is in a more of a propensity to be of one type, or let's say more sattvic or more rajasic or tamasic. These are all aspects of the one. So the secret that I want to talk about in this yoga is that it's a game of cosmic hide and seek. So God hides himself in his own creation in order to find himself. He hides himself through Maya, the concealing power, his power, and then reveals to himself through grace his own true nature. This is where the gurus come in, this is where the saints, and this is where Jesus is. Jesus is the grace-bestowing power of God. Other beings too. So God chooses these different beings to bring about grace in other people's lives. Grace is like a quickening of spirit. So one then can be have the experience of their own divinity. So that's the cosmic game of hide and seek. So God plays this game. We're all involved in it through Maya and through grace. Now, in yoga, there are different types of yoga. 6 or 7 depends on how you look at it. Okay, so yoga. What is yoga? What is the meaning of the word yoga? Yoga means union or to yoke together. What is being yoked together? Where is the union? The yogis say that the union is the individual perception of who I think I am with who I really am, which is divine. So the idea behind yoga is to merge these two truths, the individual truth with the universal truth. So yoga is the idea behind it is we merge. And so there's different types of yoga. In this philosophy, we talk about why this has all come about and the process that goes on Now, it's called Kashmir Shaivism. And in this fundamental belief is that God is both male and female energies. It's like you look at nature, you look at the world, there's male and female. There's birds, there's insects, fish, everything, human beings. They're all either male or female. Of course, we have today where some people are confused about that. But that's another story. But it's all about this male and female. It's called, in our belief system, it's Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is the male aspect, and Shakti is the female aspect. In this belief system, Shakti, it is from her womb comes all of creation. So she is basically Mother Nature, if you will. She is the mother of the universe, Shakti. So we have Shiva and Shakti. And in India, there's a lot of stories about Shiva and Shakti, so people can then start to relate to God in a personal way. It's hard to relate to an unmanifest energy. It's much easier to relate to the unmanifest if it has a form. So the idea in India is it gives people a form in which they can start to relate to the infinite. So that's Shiva and Shakti. And so this belief system goes into detail about how the universe was created, how it was all set up, and then what's going to happen with us as we strive to understand our own true nature. So how this is that think of icebergs floating in the ocean. Okay, so the one unmanifest energy puts on this cloak of individuality, and these various individuals that exist are like icebergs floating in the ocean. There are many different forms and shapes of icebergs, but basically, fundamentally, they are the same as the ocean that they're floating in. They're both water, except now the icebergs have taken on form. From the ocean, they've now become frozen and they've taken on individual form. But when the sun comes out and they start to melt, they'll merge back into the ocean. So this is only a temporary type of form that we are involved in. So our lives are going through as icebergs. Eventually, one day, we'll merge back into the infinite ocean. So this is the goal of yoga, is that merging back into the infinite ocean of bliss and tranquility and peace. And this is the fundamental reason behind yoga to give people, and there's different types of yoga, like I said before. There's bhakti yoga from the heart. There's jnana yoga, one of my favorite, using contemplation and various type of thinking processes. Then dhyana, which is meditation. Hatha yoga we all know about. So all these different types of yoga are designed for people to come to know their own true nature, their own true identity, which is hidden from us. So the secret of yoga is that this process is totally designed for us to become to know who we really are. And who we really are is totally divine. And I've had that experience of the divine. Thank you very much.
हरि दर्शन की प्यासी अखियाँ, हरि दर्शन की प्यासी अखियाँ, हरि दर्शन की प्यासी, हरि दर्शन की प्यासी अखियाँ, हरि दर्शन की